you want me to turn my shit down a little bit?
I don't know if it's necessarily the volume.
I think his audio is fine. I think it's your laptop.
No, I turned it down. If you turn it down and it's still peaking, then it's not your laptop.
I think it's yours. Because remember you said you were having mic issues and then it was just muted?
Yeah. Unrelated, but okay.
Sounds like a you problem, Jake.
Yeah,
I think Bull's hardware's fine.
Sorry, dude.
It's Hunter's hardware.
Hunter's loaned Bull hardware.
Yeah.
Hardware's fine. But you know what else is fine, everybody? Pro Football Focus. And we're in it already. Episode 30. You weren't expecting that, were you, Bull? We
No.
quick now.
Nice jump.
But welcome to episode 30, the Austin Eckler episode. I'm Hunter. With me, as always, except for that one time, are Jake and Austin.
Not Eckler.
Yeah, not Austin Eckler. And your name's really Greg. But either way, with us, first time back in a while, fan favorite guest. He brings in all the views from the online gaming community. He is, as we all know, a member of Brown Trout Gaming.
Very true.
It's Bull. Welcome to the show.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
Now, Bull,
A studio audience clap in there.
Bull, I don't think you have been on since we changed the Hot 32 to the Spicy 16.
That is true, but I did watch you and Tworski, well, you three and Tworski do the Spicy 16.
Okay, cool. So you know what's up. And since you know what's up, we can get right into it.
Well, starting off with the Browns-Titans game, the Browns got out to a 38-7 lead over the Titans, but Tennessee had a strong second half, nearly staging a comeback. The Browns won 41-35 and increased their chance of making the playoffs to 92%.
Wow. The Jets come close to their first win of the season, but the tank must go on. The Raiders are lucky that the Jets are committed to the tank, or else they would have been embarrassed on live telly. Henry Ruggs secures a last-minute long bomb as the Jets decide to blitz the house rather than keeping back everyone in coverage. Raiders win 31, Jets 28.
Yeah, it was a real heartbreak for me because down in Minnesota, well, I guess up in Minnesota, depending where you guys are geographically, but the Jaguars were making me a very strange mix of joyous and frustrated while keeping it extremely close with the Vikings. Taking it to overtime, they were able to pull out the L, inching closer to Trevor Lawrence if it wasn't for those damn Jets. Vikings take this one 27-24.
And down in Miami, the Bungles and Dolphins turns into Fight Night Round 3, starting after Mike Thomas completely soul-fucks punt returner Jakeem Grant as he tries to field a punt. More on that later. Dolphins pick up the win 19-7.
In the Colts-Texans game, T.Y. Hilton had a vintage performance against Houston, hauling in 8 catches for 110 yards and a tutter, helping the Colts win 26-20. Indy is now second in the AFC South, just behind Tennessee. Both teams are 8-4.
The Lions stopped the Bears in a 34-30 victory. The Bears ran a balanced offense, but a few crucial plays were not capitalized, including Allen Robinson catch that should have been an easy first down that never was. Although Chicago lost, Tariq Cohen tweets, "Lions fans, we split 1-1. Y'all suck. Always. And we suck too. Just for right now. Shut up about it."
Wow.
I didn't hear that one.
Go nuts on the Twitters. So the Saints and the Falcons played. I don't have anything written down for this one. Saints won 21-16. I'm assuming Taysom Hill played well. I bet Alvin Kamara played well. And
I think I saw Matt Ryan was throwing the ball.
yeah, Matt Ryan probably did that. I saw Calvin Ridley made a cool catch in the end zone, but it wasn't a catch, so it wasn't a touchdown. Not an important game.
He was called one of the greatest receivers of all time by one of the commentators.
Calvin Ridley was?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So The Giants upset the playoff-bound Seahawks in a 17-12 victory. The Seahawks prove that if they aren't scoring points, they can't rely on their defense to put them ahead.
Is that Colt McCoy there on the Giants right now?
Yeah, he led them to a win over what some thought one of the best NFC teams.
So Colt McCoy, Russell Wilson.
I agree.
But in the Rams-Cardinals game, Cam Akers is beginning to emerge as the lead back in the Rams' backfield as he led the team in rushing for the second straight week with 72 yards in a 38-28 win over Arizona. The Rams are now in the lead of the NFC West with Seattle close behind them. Both of them are 8-4, and the Cards fell to 6-6. They lost 4 of their last 5 games, and the one win was the Hail Murray. So Cardinals are looking cheeks in recent weeks.
Whoa. The Patriots score every way possible, which I actually had to go back and change that because they had an interception, but it was not a pick six. But they score almost every way possible on the Chargers, resulting in a 45-0 blowout. Cam rushes for 2 touchdowns and passes for 1. Jarrett Stidham finally gets a passing touchdown, and Gunnar Olszewski returns a punt all the way back. The Chargers are lost under Anthony Lynn.
Gunner. Eagles and Packers played. Aaron Rodgers having fun out there. You can see it in his eyes. Devontae Adams got in on that fun twice, I believe. Carson Wentz finally benched for Jalen Hurts. Going to give him a chance. In this one, the Cheeseheads take down the Dirty Birds 30-16.
Broncos showed promise early on in the game, but the Chiefs showed why they're the best. Regardless of a Tyreek Hill backflip touchdown that ended up being called back, the Chiefs still seemed unstoppable, while the Broncos have an oddly confident loser at quarterback with Drew Lock. Broncos 16, Chiefs 22.
Good job.
Thank you.
Nice one, Bull. Washington versus Steelers, Bull. The Washington football team secured a signature win in their franchise's history against the overrated Steelers in a 23-17 victory. Eric Ebron couldn't catch a cold, and his hands rubbed off on the other receivers as well. Pittsburgh struggled to run against Washington's fearsome foursome, which features Chase Young, Daron Payne, Jonathan Allen, and Montez Sweat. It felt good to have you Yinzers knock down a peg there, Bull.
I think the Steelers lead the league in drops.
We do.
Oh.
This Big Ben slinging those
Part of the team.
spicy dime pieces.
On the, only 2 hours away, about 4 hours away from Pittsburgh, the Bills looked amazing.
They played in Arizona, though.
Well, you know what I mean. The Bills looked amazing against the 49ers. Josh Allen showing out. He completed 32 of 40 passes for 375 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Cole Beasley remains a slept-on star, and Gabe Dave shows up with a TD alongside Dawson Knox and Isaiah McKenzie. Bills 34, 49ers 24.
Gabe Dave, friend of the show.
Dave. Playing a lot that game.
Cowboys played the Ravens. I'm green, right?
Go for it.
Okay, cool. Didn't want to jump anybody's gun.
It means go, dog.
Cowboys played the Did you just sneeze, Paul?
No, I just coughed.
Oh, thanks for being courteous. Cowboys at the Ravens. The Cowboys, once again, looked pretty dookie. Lamar Jackson looked as swift as ever in his first game back after recovering from COVID-19, and he even had a super sick 40-yard touchdown run. The Ravens flocked over the Cowboys 34-17. Bull, as our honorary guest, would you like to talk about any of these games besides the one?
Besides the
important to you?
Steelers?
That's the one
Yeah.
you want to talk about there, Bull.
Okay, I will say I do want to talk about the Giants game for a second.
Why? What about it?
I think it's very impressive at how well that Giants defense is doing, considering who's on their roster.
I appreciate it, man.
I don't think this. Okay, so the Seahawks have been what the Seahawks have been for the past 2 years, and they've pretty much been the Russell Wilson show. And
more than 2 years.
well, Yeah, I guess. But either way, like, I don't really think this says anything that bad about the Seahawks besides, we have to rely completely on Russell Wilson, otherwise we're screwed, which everybody knew for how long. So that didn't really show anything about the Seahawks. The Giants, however, just continue to be more and more impressive. I don't know if that's partially because of the low bar that they were set, especially after losing Saquon Barkley at the beginning of the season. Like, I had assumed they were not going to win a game, but they have been looking, especially their defense has been looking phenomenal. And all that, at least to me at this point, proves is that the Giants are going to do nothing but get better, even into next year and maybe even the year after that. If they have some solid draft picks and a decent free agency market with a lot of those receivers going in their last year, I could definitely see them taking over the NFC East. The only one they'd be fighting against is Washington.
Yeah, I definitely think Colt McCoy playing, not like a 40-year-old, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think mainly it's Andrew Thomas playing like a top 5 pick. They're definitely on their way. So, Bull, what do you think they need in the draft? What's going to set them apart next year?
Well, I think Daniel Jones needs some help on the offensive line. I also think that they can get a good mid-round beefy running back to take some of the pressure off of Saquon and start splitting time with Saquon, because Saquon cannot carry the team every year. Otherwise, he's going to keep getting hurt.
I don't know. I don't think Saquon's effective unless he gets like 42 touches a game.
I'd beg to differ, because I think Wayne Gallman, that backup for Saquon Barkley who took over, I have him in fantasy bowl. He's scoring 20 points a week. He's getting 100 yards, touchdowns. Oh yeah,
maybe they already have the running back spot figured out then. I mean,
yeah.
On that point,
and I think they had like Alfred Morris come in the game at one point.
Nice.
If I'm remembering correctly. And
I've not heard that name in a long time.
He ran one in for a touchdown, I think.
Good for him.
Could Alfred Morris be a one-year wonder?
I think he was a 2-year wonder, but
that was just a little
that later.
Also, Saquon Barkley wasn't hurt from being overused. He was hurt from a curse. So there's that.
Yeah, well, Jake, some of us believe in curses, some of us don't.
The Hulu curse?
The turf monster curse.
That's not a curse.
Yeah, that's just propaganda. What happens. I think it was the Hulu curse.
The Tolu curse.
Really, with live sports.
We don't talk about that, Austin.
But yeah, Bull, that's a good one. The Giants.
Yeah.
They're on the up and rising. Danny Dimes is pretty much Lamar Jackson speed with a 6'5" frame. Absolute accuracy.
I will say, I could definitely see Daniel Jones in a couple of years making a couple of Pro Bowls back to back.
I think Daniel Jones is like the perfect replacement for Eli Manning. He's got constant dump face, and if the rest of the team is doing good, he looks good, and then if the rest of the team's doing bad, he looks pretty bad. But what do you want to talk about, Jake?
Well, I want to start off with a question. Do you want to make every game interesting?
Yes.
No.
Step 1, open the BetMGM Sportsbook. Step 2, put some skin in the game. And step 3, showtime. TDs, backward Ks, RBIs, and TKOs win BIG. Now you're in the arena with the king of sportsbooks. You know what to do.
Jake, did you sign a deal with
MGM Sportsbook? Yes.
No free ads, dude.
No, literally every single YouTube video I watch is that exact Jamie Foxx ad with the MGM Sportsbook. And
I thought you were like leading into something.
Just like this, there's fire in the background.
yeah. And it's one of those things that are short enough that just every single time I just kept learning a chunk and a chunk and a chunk. So now I'll just throw something on TV and it's just, you want to make every game interesting? Step 1, open the BetMGM Sportsbook.
That's impressive. I thought you were reading something.
No, I was not.
Okay. Well,
Jake's been practicing that all week.
No, that is not true. This has been running in my YouTube videos for at least 2.5 months. Like every single day, all day. But I like Jamie Foxx, so it's funny. The game that I want to talk about is. Let's talk about the Broncos Chiefs, because they did look pretty good in the beginning, and it was very convincing. Obviously, we had some people over since we just moved in, to which some are very, very big Broncos fans, rightfully so. And everyone was just going wild through the first half. And then the backflip happened. Everyone got all pissed off because they were like, man, Tyreek is showboating, because he caught the ball. Whoever was defending just ended up tripping up or whatever. And then right at the 1 yard line, does a backflip into the end zone. And then flag is thrown. Everyone's like, yeah, Tyreek, fuck you. That's what you get for showboating. Rah. And refs there was no penalty on the backflip. Someone was just holding back there. And so everyone's like, oh, well,
So
fuck you. And then Chiefs won. So
more interesting than the backflip, I think. What do you think about Tyreek Hill's clear touchdown that was not called a touchdown?
I don't know if I caught that.
Yeah, he's in the end zone. The ball gets bobbled, and it lands on his side, but it never touches the ground. He catches it, throws it up in the air, catches it again, and he's like, nah, because he thinks it's incomplete. But then he looks at the replay, and he's like, and he goes over to Andy Reid, and he's just like, hey, Andy Reid, I think that was a touchdown. And it definitely was.
The announcers, they were replaying it, and they're like, oh my God. And they're like, I think that was a touchdown. He got up and he smacked the ball. He's like, fuck, I dropped that ball. And then he jogs over the sideline. They run out and punt the ball real quick. And they're like, oh, oh, he messed up.
Yeah,
Andy Reid, he's like, why didn't you didn't know?
The game definitely, the scoreboard makes it seem a lot closer than it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
no, totally.
I definitely think it was a case of the Chiefs, like you said, those two got called back, and then at the end they just know how to turn it on when they need to. Didn't see a lot of Jerry Jeudy action that game.
Surprisingly not. And why I put in there confident loser is that Broncos were just playing well, not even up, I think, more than a score. And Drew Lock is doing the fucking Macarena on the sideline, oh, and he wasn't even
Is he really?
No, I mean he's always doing
Oh.
oh, hey. Anytime they start to generally do, I'm not even talking fucking, oh, I'm hot all game, I'm dropping dimes, I'm fucking scoring. That I understand. Then you're celebrating. As soon as Broncos start doing good, Drew Lock's like, oh yeah, oh.
He's a groovy dude. He wants the whole team to feel it. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think got to get a little bit ahead more.
For sure.
Before they start one.
I think they should bring back Tim
first
Tebow.
good.
Probably not. But
I think so.
I think he's doing just fine, whatever he's doing.
I don't think they need to bring back Tim Tebow, because I think he was kind of a one-year wonder.
Wow.
Oh.
But Austin, which game do you want to talk about?
Well, I mean, should I save the I'll save that one for last.
There's going to be a big chunk of that discussed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to talk about the Patriots-Chargers game, because
Ugly.
last minute in fantasy, I forget whose defense I had. I had some trash defense. I'm scrolling through the defenses. The Patriots are way at the bottom. They're supposed to get 2 points. I'm thinking in my head, I just had a feeling that Bill Belichick, I saw what he did to Josh Allen and Sam Darnold last season, where they both had 5 interceptions and they were just shitting on us. I'm like, Belichick's going to do something to Justin Herbert. I pick him up and put him in fantasy. They have the block field goal touchdown. They have
That was fucking insane.
the Gunnar Olszewski punt return touchdown. They're just eating up, man. The blocked field goal. Oh.
I'm pretty sure all the blocked field goals this season have been offsides calls. And then that was finally one that was good and taken to the crib.
Yeah.
It's wow, that was really fucking sweet.
And then what's up with Bill Belichick and these white guys with long golden flowing hair? Who's that defensive end that he has
Chase Winovich.
Yeah, Chase. He's got Chase Winovich and Gunnar Olszewski, and then his son Steve Belichick, I think, has the same haircut. So does Bill Belichick just have a thing for this haircut?
He
Or
just likes Valkyrie type dudes.
yeah, he thinks he thinks they're powerful football players or something.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest takeaway from this game is what we've been. Am I frozen?
No, you're good. You're good.
Did I freeze?
A little.
Okay, I saw you guys freeze. But I think the biggest takeaway from this game is something that we've been saying pretty much all season, and that's that Anthony Lynn sucks.
Yeah. And I remember because Anthony Lynn was the running backs coach for Rex Ryan when he was on the Jets. And then when Rex Ryan went to the Bills and Rex Ryan got fired, well, he had Anthony Lynn with him. So Anthony Lynn became our interim head coach and had Tyrod Taylor in there and stuff. And I just felt like our team was absolute dog shit at that point in time, even though we had Stephon Gilmore, Marcel Darius, like all these stud players. That's another reason why I had a good feeling that Belichick was going to shit on him, because I remember, I think I said it in the last podcast, all the fuck-ups that Anthony Lynn had against the Bills, just coaching-wise, just purely coaching, like decision-making. Belichick will never make those mistakes. He's like, he's always aware of the situation, what to do, the timeouts left. Anthony Lynn has no idea what's going on out there.
I think Anthony Lynn falls into the Gus Bradley category of nice guy, bad coach.
Yeah, well, I think he's like a good running backs coach, but I don't think he's a good head.
Is Tom Telesco still the GM for the Chargers?
I have no idea.
Because if he is, well, if he is, then he needs a lot of credit for putting together a good team that Anthony Lynn cannot coach. If Anthony Lynn is the one that is putting this team together, then he needs to be a GM somewhere and let somebody else that can coach actually coach.
Well, to answer your question, Tom Telesco is, in fact, the current GM of the Los Angeles.
So he's a beast. Yeah, that dude's a monster.
I thought before Derwin James went out, they should have had like the best defense in the NFL this year.
Definitely one of the top 5.
Yeah. But I don't see it anywhere else in the rundown, and I know Bull wanted to talk about it. So let's do Browns-Titans.
Yes.
Pretty crazy that happened.
So as a Steeler fan, I am not nearly as worried about the Browns as the rest of the league are. Purely because whenever the AFC North teams play each other, it does not matter how good they are. It does not matter how bad the other team is or how good the other team is. They always play very tight. So it's just gotten to a point where it's like, okay, we're playing the Browns. We're probably going to win, but it's probably going to be by 3 points. So I'm not worried about them. The Titans, however, the fact that they almost came back and won that game really bothers me, because that means you can never truly put the Titans away. And that's very, very scary.
Yeah, I mean, I think Corey Davis had like a freak of nature game. Ryan Tannehill, if you let him pass the ball, he does well. Like,
yeah,
when they have to make the comeback, he's actually a pretty good quarterback.
Well, with your logic, I don't understand how you're not any more scared of the Browns, because if they put 41 points, if they put 41 points on like a pretty decent defense, you don't think Baker's just feeling himself? I mean, I'm pretty sure that O-line, I think they have like 2 or 3 of the highest graded O-linemen in football right now.
By PFF.
I mean, like I said, AFC North teams, when they play each other, it's always a tight game no matter who's playing. I mean, we didn't have our Hall of Fame quarterback last year, and we still kept it close with the Browns both games.
Yeah, but who's going to stop Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, not Bud Dupree?
That's right. T.J. Watt, Cam Hayward, Tyson Alualu, Avery Williams.
Tyson, Jacksonville Jaguars, 2010 11th overall draft pick. Who?
Tyson Alualu. Yeah,
he's
dude.
Playing the best football of his career right now.
Yeah, he's real nice. That's what happens when you don't have to rely solely on him, when he can just be an accent player.
interesting. I think it would be hilarious if there was like somehow a Browns Steelers playoff scenario. The Browns knocked the
Oh.
Steelers out.
I don't
It's happened
know.
before, hasn't it?
No,
Not in the playoffs, I don't think.
no.
I don't know. I'm gonna give it a goog.
I don't know, but that would be hilarious. Like
That would suck.
nobody would hear the end of it. And honestly, like of all years, 2020 seems like a Browns Super Bowl kind of year.
No. Oh my God, no.
What do you mean, Paul? This is the weirdest year of all time. You don't think the worst team?
People would chalk that up.
Yeah, but the Browns.
Browns won the Super Bowl, they'd be like, "Yeah, it was pandemic though. Players said it." Bro. Like,
So-
no one will give
Bethune
them.
would be so happy.
It would be weird to see. Do you guys care if I do a quick aside?
Go
Sure.
ahead, Paul. That's what we're here for.
We're all
Speaking
about
of Super Bowls, and especially Super Bowls this year, there is a former episode of Bro Football Focus where one of our members made a bet. And that bet was if Tampa Bay makes it to the Super Bowl this year, that person will let Ndamukong Suh do anything up to and including murder that motherfucker. So, Austin, I don't want you to get murdered by Ndamukong Suh,
Oh
but
my
I would love
God.
to see how you're going to pay that debt if they make it to the Super Bowl.
Well, let's not be silly here. What do you think they're a powerhouse or something? I've seen Sean Payton and Taysom Hill and fucking
They could
Drew
So-
Brees.
listen. It's
So
so
Matt
possible.
around
But
twice.
all I know is Ndamukong Suh. Like we're already in his good graces. He received his biggest nasty award. He unboxed.
Did you guys send it to him?
He wears the T-shirt all the time. Like on Instagram, you can look. He wears the Hot BFF Injection T-shirt like every 5 days.
Please. I would like to see
Buddy and nasty.
at least photo evidence of that.
Most of our fan base
It's
comes
private.
from his Instagram. Just
That's
you know,
interesting. That's very interesting.
Well, I'm
Um,
honestly glad you didn't go back very early and see our bet about the Steelers not being like top 15 in defense.
Oh, I was going to also bring that up as well. I was also going to bring up the fact that you said Justin Herbert was going to be a bust.
Who?
You.
Well, yeah, he looked stupid.
He looks great now. And
Now he does.
Well,
No,
do you
and-
want to be our deep researcher and fact check us on this? But can you only pick out stuff that makes us look smart?
oh, so now you want me to siphon through for the masses. That's what you're
Well, if you want to talk about something that we said in a previous episode that would make
Mhm.
us look smart,
Mhm, mhm.
we could jump right into the game that we haven't talked about yet. That is maybe the most interesting game. Jake, if you want to play that clip.
Oh yeah.
You want to make every game interesting. Step one,
Not
open
that
it.
clip.
Oh, what
Step two,
I thought you said
skin it again. Step
Okay,
what video?
you don't actually have to do anything. This is going to be
Oh.
in post.
Okay.
But let's walk this back. How would I have known that you had that queued up?
What?
How would I have known right now that you had that Jamie Foxx thing queued up?
You didn't.
So I said, okay, play that clip. And he was like, all right.
Yeah.
Jake's just got it waiting.
Don't fucking worry about it, dog.
All right. Either way, hopefully after that, Jake played the clip of last week's episode where we were talking about how good the Redskins defense is that we've been saying all year and that they might upset the Steelers, which they did because of their nasty, nasty defense. How do you feel after the elbow?
Okay, so let me first off do a little bit of damage control because I think most every Steeler fan is not as butthurt about the L as everyone else thinks we are.
Takes a little pressure off, right?
Not only that, we are much more concerned about all the injuries. Like the fact that both of our starting corners did not finish that game. 3 linebackers, including an all-pro edge rusher, did not play in that game or did not finish that game. Our starting center, who has been a 6-time Pro Bowler, was not in that game. And Big Ben is getting older. Thank God he's getting the ball out in 2 seconds. Otherwise, I would be very concerned. But he's getting the ball out faster this year than he ever has in his career, and I love it.
But you're not concerned.
I'm not concerned about Big Ben's health, but I'm concerned about the defense's health. That's what that most. So
But not the center.
does it stink that the Steelers are not undefeated? Yes. But compared to the giant cleaver hanging in the air of injuries for that defense, that is completely 100% the concern for playoffs. We need to be healthy for the playoffs, as healthy as we can be. And the fact that we have 5 of our 11 guys on defense that started that are injured, and we still only held an NFL team to 20 points, that's phenomenal. I'll definitely take that. Like, I have no issues with our defensive performance. I have issues with our defensive health. Our offense is Eric Ebron needs to go. He's been dropping balls all year.
Everybody on the team's been dropping.
I've been
balls
seeing it.
Yeah, but Eric Ebron.
I've been seeing all these drops.
I am tired of seeing Eric.
Why
Ebron.
and he can't block for shit. So why don't they put in Vance McDonald? I don't get what their obsession is with Eric Ebron. Literally, they try to run the ball. Like, I think that big play where they got stopped on the 1 yard line, Eric Ebron didn't even touch Chase Young. Chase Young flew around, fucking just smacked Benny Snell.
Blocking Chase Young.
Neither would I, but
paid for.
Vance McDonald, he will step
McDonald
up to the plate and
wants
block.
to block Chase Young.
Yeah,
Just give me Chase Young.
he'll get in there. He's a dirty dog.
That's why I think
Give
their
me Chase.
first round draft pick this upcoming year is going to end up being a tight end. But
Wasn't Vance McDonald who committed that white on white crime last year with a white safety?
Oh, he stiff armed the living dog shit out of him. Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it was awful.
That's why that guy's a monster.
he's
a tough player. He's a good blocker. Got a stiff arm.
Yeah.
He's got good hands, unlike Eric Ebron. He's just not fast. Not super fast.
okay. So I'm assuming the reason why Vance McDonald's not starting is because Mike Tomlin doesn't live in his fears. So he'll throw somebody out there that will just not catch a ball and not block to say, hey, I'm Mike Tomlin. I can do that. Yeah. Because every fucking week he preaches, we don't live in our fears.
You think he's flexing on
Huh?
people right now, Bull? You think Mike Tomlin is flexing on other coaches in the
I think he
league,
is.
saying, I can put a garbage-ass player out
Yeah,
here and win with them? And then it comes out and they lose against the Washington football team?
If I recall, was that you, Hunter?
No.
Hmm.
What?
Gus?
I just heard a very weird sound.
Could've
I
been.
thought it was you. No. If I recall, he has 0.651 win percentage in a career. He's has never had a losing record throughout the entire time of him being a head coach for the Steelers, and that is an unbelievable thing.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin's good.
Yeah, he's a very good coach. He's a nut, but he's a very good coach. I think I'm starting to understand that the Steelers, especially when they have a season like they do right now, disagree with me if you want, but I think we're the bad boys of the league. I don't think anybody likes us except for us. And people can say, oh, it's the Raiders. No, everybody loves the Raiders. They're in Vegas. They've got a new stadium. They've got a new look. They've got an old coach. They're loving it. The Chiefs have become the new Patriots without all the cheating. And the Patriots are a dying dynasty that are trying to kickstart their shit. Albeit, I think they're going to do much better next year. But that's just a guess.
Real quick, just to end on the Mike Tomlin talk, I feel like he's invested in Eric Ebron because they have red paint, so they're going to paint the barn red.
I guess.
That's a Mike Tomlin original quote.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So is
Mike Tomlin, he's always dropping some seriously good quotes
He's a football guy.
immediately after the
Yeah.
game.
Like he's
Yeah.
about the lessons more than
he's
just
also an extremely
X.
intense, calm man.
Yeah, it's the eyes.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't want him to be upset with me over dropping balls.
I feel like when he gets upset, he does like a small mouth type thing. He's like,
I definitely feel like
what the?
Eric Ebron is getting the Friday Night Lights treatment right now, and Mike Tomlin is just beating him until he holds on to a ball.
Oh,
Mike Tomlin.
Getting them conditioned
Yeah.
for the playoffs.
yeah. Well,
That's a good theory there, Bull.
That's what I would do if I was him.
You know where there's a lot of theories, Austin?
Oh,
Where?
Twitter. And we're bringing back next week's newest favorite segment, Austin and Hunter's Twitterverse, which now involves Jake
Hey,
because
I've
he
been
has
there.
chimed in a few times in the group, which is nice to have
I
everybody
turned on
participate.
my badges.
Now, I will say, when I tried to add everything from our Twitter DMs, it would only refresh so far, so I could only get like 4 things off of
That's
there.
okay. I
so
think this is enough
it's
stuff.
Yeah.
I only really want to talk about the last one, so if you guys want to read those ones.
Well, the first one is among the top 9 teams in the AFC playoff picture, 8 of them are playing each other in Week 14. The number 1 Steelers versus number 3 Bills, number 2 Chiefs, number 6 Dolphins, the 5 Browns, the 9 Ravens, and the 7 Colts and 8 Raiders. So it's just like this upcoming week is going to be a lot of AFC playoff football, and we kind of get a good idea of who's going to be the top dogs. We'll see if the Dolphins are legit. We'll see. I think the Raiders are kind of big fat phonies after the Falcons blew them out of the water a couple weeks ago. I think they can play the Chiefs good for some reason, but I don't think they're the real deal.
That's one of those divisional things.
Yeah, I'd like to see how bad the Colts beat them if they beat them, because I don't know. I don't think the Raiders really belong in the playoffs, but
Probably not.
yeah, should be some good football.
We already talked about this next one here. Like, we broke this before Twitter broke this.
Well,
Yeah.
I did want to say, I thought that this week's game, that the Bills would be the Steelers' first loss, as per last week's episode. I do still think the Bills will win, especially if they play like they did. If both teams played like they did this past week, Bills will win.
I don't want to say
I'm,
anything. I don't want to jinx the Bills.
Fair enough.
as long as the Steelers don't get hurt, I'm fine with taking an L to the Bills.
Oh,
Well, I
Speaking
hope
of
Mike
the Bills,
Tomlin feels the same way.
Mike Tomlin doesn't live in his fears. He'll go out there and win a game himself.
Cole Beasley's quietly having himself quite the season.
I hear that.
Yeah.
I hear he's a good.
Beasley has the most touchdowns out of any player in NFL history who is under 5'8". Darren Sproles is right behind him, but
now, is that with cleats on or off?
on,
On.
yeah. But
So
Cole
he's
Beasley,
shorter. He walks around shorter.
if you were a couple weeks ago, we did the perfect QB. This is if you were to build the perfect wide receiver. Cole Beasley has more yards than A.J. Brown, more receptions than DK Metcalf, more yards per reception than DeAndre Hopkins, more tutters than Julio, and more 100-yard games than Tyreek Hill. So let that sink in. That
Austin, am I mistaken, or did you just call Cole Beasley the perfect wide receiver?
what? I just think he's uncoverable within the intermediate route range.
Yeah. When Austin sent this into the group, I fully accepted it all, but I just personally don't like Cole Beasley because I think he looks like a goat.
Yeah,
See, I
but-
was going to say that he could probably, if there was a movie about the Bills, he could be played by the guy who plays cricket on Always Sunny.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
I'm sure Cole Beasley would be out of the NFL by then and be willing to play himself.
Oh,
True.
you hater ass motherfuckers.
I'm not hating.
Cole
on
Beasley is in his prime right now.
Listen,
Aging like a white slot receivers peak out at age 31. And then they keep increasing a little bit in performance. And then at 34, 35, when they have too many concussions, they go do Kentucky Derby stuff. We've seen it before with Wes Welker.
and Danny Amendola.
Yeah.
I think
Hey,
they were
Austin.
both at that same Kentucky Derby.
Julian Edelman might be breaking that stereotype hanging around, but I think it's because he's on the roids so
I don't
much.
think he is, dude. Julian Edelman is totally on the downfall.
Yeah. Oh, no, he's on the downfall. I just think
no,
he's
for sure.
juicing the fuck up.
You think so?
Every year he's getting more jacked, and he got suspended for steroids last year, I think. He's
Who's
just
that?
huge.
I think that's
Julian
because,
Edelman.
he had, spent some time making that documentary, so he had some extra time in his schedule to get the extra lifts in.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe he's on the juice.
Hey, Austin, I do have a question.
Just juice, just vitamin C from,
The
tots.
sun.
Yeah.
Good for your immune system. What were you saying there, Bull?
I was going to ask you, do you know how many receiving yards Cole Beasley had?
When against this last week?
No, I'm saying for the 2020 season.
Do you want me to tell you? Or you?
Yeah.
So let's see. Cole Beasley. Stats.
797 yards.
So,
Okay, so that is the 19th most receiving yards in the league.
yeah, but Bull, look at the stats.
I
No.
don't think he can
No.
be considered
Bull,
the
Bull, we're not.
prototype receiver if he.
Bull, this is bro football focus.
Yeah.
This is not pro football focus. We don't look at the stats. We give it the eye test.
Yeah,
What I just
the
told
eye
you.
it's feelings. Look at all of those stats on the NFL on CBS Twitter post.
It seems like you guys are only concerned about stats when they work for Cole Beasley.
Bull, I want you to read
Oh, I
that
don't like
first
Cole
line.
Beasley.
The first line says, "Do not sleep on Cole Beasley this season." You're sleeping on.
And it also says he's better than A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, DeAndre
That is
Hopkins,
not.
Julio Jones, and Tyreek Hill. That's
That's
exactly
it,
what
Bull.
it says.
That's it. Cole
It
Beasley.
sounds like it's some
I hear he
pro
listens to
Cole
our show.
Beasley
He's
propaganda.
gonna be uncoverable against the Steelers. I don't see who you gonna put on him. Your corners are
If
banged
Joe
up.
Hayden's back,
Bless
Joe Hayden. If not, probably Mike Hilton, who will let him catch the ball and then rock his world. Because Mike Hilton's a hitter.
Mike Hilton sucks.
There's
He's
some blasphemy
like,
going on in this square, and I don't like it.
Mike
he's like,
Hilton is
he's
just
like
a
Willie
blitzer.
Gay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Brandon, scoot back over to the middle of your screen.
Yeah.
Oh, am I not in the middle?
Drifting.
But
There you go.
the last thing in the Twitterverse is a little Jaguars news. Gardner Minshew has been healthy for like 3 weeks now, and they have been going with Mike Glennon because I honestly don't think that the Jags want to win. Allegedly, from Big Cat Country, great Jaguars insider source on Twitter, Gardner begged Doug Marrone to play. And as we all know, Gardner Minshew loves football. Back in the day in college, broke his hand to try and get himself a red shirt or whatever. So, yeah, he's begging Doug Marrone. Doug Marrone came out and he said, yeah, I don't know. I think Mike Glennon gives us the better chance to win. And that's one, crazy. Two, Jay Gruden came out and said that Gardner looks great in practice. And he doesn't know what Doug Marrone is doing, but it's his decision at the end of the day. So I'm cool with it. I like Gardner as a person. I'd be cool if he was Trevor Lawrence's backup for the rest of his life.
Wow.
I think he's more
Let
of
me
a
ask you-
personality than a football player.
Let me ask you, Hunter. What are the odds you think he stays a Jaguar for much longer? Do you think they're good?
He'll stay a Jaguar for like as long as his contract allows him to be. He probably won't re-sign like another contract in Jacksonville.
So do you think the Jaguars will take a trade if they get like an offer for a third-round pick for him?
Gardner, nobody would trade a third-round pick for Gardner Minshew. That's crazy.
Well, think about how saturated the QB position is right now.
If I
Jameis
was
Winston is a third stringer right now.
if I was Bill Belichick next season, I would be looking at Gardner Minshew as being my starting quarterback.
No.
Best case for Gardner Minshew's career, he's going to get cut and he's going to get picked up by a team that needs a quarterback.
Like the Patriots.
Sure, but there won't be a trade. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Well, either way, I could definitely. What's that?
He said the best thing for him to do is to ride his contract out, get cut, and then just get a job in like sports media and just be a personality.
Yeah, and I think that would be a better fit for him.
I could see him doing like some WWE stuff with that mustache.
Whoa.
I could see him on College Game Day.
Yeah. But yeah, Gardner Minshew, I could see him maybe being like a Ryan Fitzpatrick type. He is just a backup and then he gets thrusted in the role, gets 300 yards, a couple touchdowns.
Yeah, and then he starts failing again.
Yeah.
Ryan Fitzpatrick is a once-in-a-generation talent that can pop off a good game on any team imaginable.
Yeah, I agree.
As we found out last week on BFF when he was named almost elite by Jake.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would take him in the he is elite, just not all the time.
Now here's
So
my
not
thing.
elite.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, I feel like, is the most like you could drop him into any offense with any shit players around him, shit line. You could give him the worst line, worst receivers, and he'll find a way to do more with it than if you drop Matt Ryan in there.
He's a smarty pants. He aced the Wonderlic, dude.
Yeah.
His
And
kid,
he's a tough bastard.
when his kid was like 8, he knew like quantum physics.
Yeah, and he's got a couple kids now. Several, I think.
Hurdle.
I think he will go. This aspect of his game will go untalked about a lot, but he is a tank destroyer. If you want to tank a season, you get Ryan Fitzpatrick far away from your state, not even your team. Just get him away from the state.
So, Bull, I might completely do a 180 and completely agree with your take then, because I think that's why Gardner Minshew's out, because I think he is a dude who you can put in there and he'll win you a few games because he does not want to lose.
I could see him taking over a Ryan Fitzpatrick-esque role, but I don't want to see him do that because I feel like Ryan Fitzpatrick deserves a home. Just like I hope Gardner Minshew has a home in either Jacksonville or somewhere fairly soon. Because I think both of them would do well in a system.
The league is better with these guys in it.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Gardner Minshew, the young Ryan Fitzpatrick. But next up is a piece that I'm very excited about. Very excited that I found this on Twitter. Usually we do a little segment called the Packers merch segment because the Packers always have a nice little merch thing, some fun stuff, some tiki heads and whatnot. This is not from the Packers this week, everybody. This is not even really like Chargers merch, but it is someone from the Chargers. So a few years ago, the Chargers drafted an offensive guard named Forrest Lamp. And it turns out Forrest Lamp has signed an endorsement deal with a lamp company called Lamp Plus, and he is now selling Forrest Lamp's Forrest Lamp, which is a completely wooden lamp that is his signature lamp, and it is made out of a sequoia tree. And I hope Jake puts these images up here because they are hilarious.
I just like how he's wearing like a nice plaid shirt in some of the pictures, just looking like a wholesome hoss. And then some of them, he's just mean mugging it, just posted up next to this lamp. Like, look at this fucking sturdy sequoia.
Yeah, and not to mention, it does only have 6 reviews, but with those 6 reviews, it does have 4.5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah.
And I think it's pretty reasonably priced. For a lamp that is fully made out of a sequoia tree, it's only $200.
And it's a $300 value.
Does it say that?
It said that below that $199, but it got cut out.
Gotcha.
But,
I'm wondering
very high quality.
I'm wondering what the price would be to get a Forrest Lamp and a Forrest Lamp Fathead together, to get one of those, like maybe the plaid shirt picture into a Fathead, because I would definitely buy that.
So you're saying you want a fathead of Forrest Lamp and a fathead of just the lamp?
Or do you just want a
one of
fat
them
head
together.
of the lamp?
Oh.
I want a Fathead of both that picture, that one with him in the flannel. I would put that Fathead right behind me whenever I do any of these.
Well, Christmas is right around the corner. We'll see what we can do. Jake, do you have anything to say about Forrest Lamp's Forrest Lamp?
Yeah, kind of going along Bull's thought, I wonder how much a signed Forrest Lamp by Forrest Lamp would run for. But then again, I also would want to see a tattoo of the Forrest Lamp on Forrest Lamp.
Yeah.
That's
I might get one. If I ever move to LA, I'll get a Forrest Lamp, and I'll bring it to every single game and try and get him to sign it.
I'm sure if he saw a fan in the stands holding a Forrest Lamp, it's 100%. Oh, so you're one of the 6 reviewers.
The Forrest Lamp.
I reviewed. I gave it a 4.2 just because the cord it could be long, but I love it. Other than that,
yeah.
Oh man.
But the Forrest Lamp is clearly a good decision. something that is not a good decision might be considered a whoopsie.
Mm.
And this is the whoopsie of the week.
Yeah, it is.
Slide whistle.
To me, this is more of a whoopsie of the refs and the league, not
Yeah,
necessarily
yeah.
Mike Thomas.
So
This is
I
an
don't didn't know
anti-whoopsie.
anything about this one. So one of you guys want to take this?
I didn't watch this game.
Well, did you watch this game?
So I didn't see this play until after the game, but I went back and watched it, and it is. Have you guys ever seen when Troy Polamalu was at USC and he hit that returner well before the ball got to him?
Yeah, everyone knows that clip.
It was kind of like that. Just it didn't look that devastating. It looked like he got the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah, it really did.
Jakeem Grant is also a very, very, very small guy, so it probably did hurt him a lot. I'm kind of surprised this is the whoopsie of the week, though.
What do you think should be the whoopsie?
I think it should be that high school kid that destroyed that ref and then destroyed his career.
Bull, this is an NFL football podcast.
I understand that, but that is a football thing, and that is huge.
If anything, the whoopsie of the week should probably be the touchdown that wasn't called a touchdown with Tyreek. But
Yeah.
Or is it the Adam Gase, or not the Adam Gase, but the what's the defensive coordinator's name?
yeah,
Greg Williams.
That honestly, it probably should be that, shouldn't it? That was awful.
I appreciate the cojones that it takes to pretty much call an all-out blitz on the final play of the game. That's dedication to a tank. That's what that is.
Do you think he's really trying to tank, or do you think he's like, I don't want to give him any time to throw a Hail Mary. Let's see if we can sack him before he can even launch
I think
it.
Adam Gase got a bunch of his buddies together, and they decided to LARP NFL coaching. So that's what they're doing.
Do they throw salvia before the games?
I think, as they said on the Pat McAfee show, Greg Williams is just like that type of coach, and he's going to do that. Like, he's aggressive, and he's not going to go out any other way.
But
Yeah,
aggressive
I
is
mean-
one thing. Dumb is another.
Yeah, running punt
surprised
return on
he's
first
been-
down, not a good idea. Running an all-out blitz with the final play of the game.
Not the
He's
best.
been around in the league for so long. I'm surprised he's like, I've never seen him have like a top tier defense. Like, I've seen him always have like a middle of the road defense that blitzes a lot, gets shit on like long passes because he's blitzing, and then they're always like trying to hurt people doing cheap shots and shit. Like, that was the Bounty Gate team. And the Bounty Gate team, I don't think they were that good of a defense when he had it. So I think Greg Williams, like, he's kind of a clown for the defensive coordinators.
Well, that's the thing is, do you think Greg Williams did it on purpose and then just became the fall guy?
I think that would be cool if he's like, listen, he's like, I'm tired of fucking sitting here in New York during COVID doing all this stuff. We're not even trying to win games out here. He's like, get rid of me. They're like, oh, secure the tank, call the cover zero last play. Fucking
Yeah, I will say I would, out of every head coach in the league, I think Adam Gase is the least threatening,
Oh,
and
100%.
Vrabel is the most threatening.
Vrabel.
Are you saying like threatening in regards to like
If we got into a
or
fist
in
fight, he
regards
would beat
to
me.
like physical, like they could fight you?
Oh yeah, and
Yeah, like fist to face. I feel like Adam Gase couldn't beat up a stick, and I feel like Mike Vrabel, being a former NFL middle linebacker, could eat some salad.
Mike Vrabel still like puts on pads in practice and like does drills of people.
Bucks do dumb.
Yeah.
Did you see what he said to Harbaugh when they played the Ravens?
Where he's like, what happened? Oh, there's like a little scuffle in the middle of the field.
No, so yeah, what happened was some of the Titans players were standing on the Ravens logo, which root on for them. Harbaugh comes out and he's like, you can't do that. That's disrespectful. And Mike Vrabel pretty much just alphaed him. It was like, why don't you go coach? Why
Yeah.
don't you not worry about my guys and you go coach, huh?
Daddy's
And
dick.
Harbaugh just got bitched in his own stadium.
Yeah. Harbaugh just kept saying, it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful.
Why don't you go watch
Oh,
your
man.
wife get fucked? Like, oh, what?
Do you know what else is disrespectful? Being 6-5.
You know what else is disrespectful? David Carr's top 15 offensive players list.
Yeah,
Very nice.
100%. So
Oh, is that a sponsored pizza slice?
This is Hungry Howard's. I get it free at work. I would
you get a
never.
That's
little slice.
I would never buy Hungry Howie's with actual my own money.
Yeah.
Why not? They have good crust.
They
Yeah,
do have
what
good
flavor crust
but
is it?
I'm not buying pizza for the crust.
Surefine has better crust.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know about that.
That's ridiculous. That's a hot take.
But
This
see,
is flavored crust.
Hungry Howie's has better crust in regards to novelty, but when it comes to plain crust, Surefine's better.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's very agreeable.
I'm not eating a fucking knick-knack, I mean a pizza.
Oh, unless you go to the Cracker Barrel and you go to the knick-knack shop.
True. Then I
But-
could eat all those knickknacks.
David Carr,
Should be
famous
fired.
first overall draft pick for the Houston Texans back in the day, who was bad. Maybe to no fault of his own, who knows. But Derek Carr put out his top 15 offensive players list, and I think some of them are pretty stupid.
Derek is definitely a stupid choice.
Yeah,
And I sense some bias.
What's he have there? What's he at? 10 or something?
Derek?
That would be 8, I think. So
9.
Yeah.
I
So
I think saying Derrick Henry is better than both Dalvin Cook and Alvin Kamara is kind of insane.
really,
Yeah, I feel like Alvin Kamara is much more of an explosive, like game-changing player, whereas like teams that can stop Derrick Henry typically have a pretty fucking do a good job of stopping him all game. And also he's not a pass threat like Alvin Kamara. Dalvin Cook is like also a game changer too. Like I just don't think he's. Yeah, I think he's on the list, but it's not right there.
Yeah, I mean, I think the list is it's not bad. I think it's just the blatant bias of Derek Carr on this list. Like
Yeah.
Derek Carr over Kyler Murray, over like
yeah.
Russell Wilson.
over Russell
Big
Wilson
Ben.
and Deshaun Watson right here. Big Ben's not even on the list. Like,
I feel
Mhm.
like Kyler should definitely be at least on the list.
yeah,
And this might be nitpicking. I think DK at 15 is pretty solid because he's kind of crazy at wide receiver, doing stuff that not a lot of people can do just with his size and strength and speed. But I don't think Justin Jefferson should be in the top 15 at all.
I agree with that. 100%.
yeah.
Like Justin Jefferson's really good, but
He's not top 15.
I would rather have like Julio Jones than Justin Jefferson. He's not on the list.
Yeah.
I'd rather have Keenan Allen probably. He's not on the list. I'd rather
I
have
do-
either of the two in Tampa.
I do have a question for you guys to post all three of you. Deshaun Watson on this list is number 10, 11, 12. Is number 12. Do you guys think that is a good spot? Because I think that is throwing a lot of shade at Deshaun Watson for what he's working with.
Deshaun Watson is quietly having his best year he's ever played in the NFL.
As
And he has
soon as-
nobody around him, especially now that Will Fuller's gone. He has nobody around him.
As soon as Bill O'Brien left, Deshaun Watson's production like skyrocketed. He looks super good right now. Like if he had all the weapons that he could have had, like with DeAndre, and if he kept that, retained that, and got rid of Bill O'Brien in advance, man, they could have probably done something in the playoffs last year. They were up 28-0 on the Chiefs in the playoffs last year.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I will say I do think that the Chiefs are not making it back to the Super Bowl this year, but that's a talk for a little bit later. But I feel bad for Deshaun Watson. I do not feel bad for the Texans organization. If you guys wanted to stick with Bill O'Brien that long, you rue everything you deserve.
Yeah.
kind of
For
sucks that he
years,
signed that
people were
huge deal
saying,
Yeah.
because I definitely think he could flourish elsewhere.
Oh, 100%. Maybe in
Like
Jacksonville.
But yeah, I don't know. I think Russell and Deshaun next to each other is cool because I think they're very similar.
Yeah.
But yeah, how do you not have Kyler Murray on the list? That's kind of crazy.
Austin, do you want to give us your list? Because I know you made yours.
Yeah, we can compare and contrast to David.
All right. So
Derek,
I made my
number
list.
one.
I didn't put anyone who's like hurt, like C Mac or George Kittle or anybody. But number one, I put Patrick Mahomes just because Patrick Mahomes is obviously the Michael Jordan of football right now, and there's no one even close to him really. Besides Aaron Rodgers, who's my number two.
Oh, so number 3 is your boy.
Number three, I have Josh Allen, and Josh Allen, I feel like is just he's not accuracy wise where Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers is, but you can see just like the presence he has in the pocket and just being able to make any throw at any distance, scramble for first downs. Like it's definitely important to have a little bit of wheels nowadays at the quarterback position.
If Josh
We're
Allen
talking-
keeps this pace of development, he'll be the best quarterback in the NFL next year.
I mean, that'd be awesome.
He's more mobile and more trucky than Patrick.
Oh, he's definitely physically better than Patrick, but Patrick just has that little bit of. He's just got that like classic Aaron Rodgers, like perfect spiral, like drop
Yeah,
it.
you
drop
were
it
like
back.
spot on with the Michael Jordan comp because he just does stuff that nobody else does.
Yeah,
I
He
think
throws
it does
balls
help.
behind his back.
I think it does help out a lot that he has the amount of weapons he does.
yeah.
I think if you put him on another team, a bad team, if you put him on the Jets, he's not doing nearly as well.
I don't think
I would say he wouldn't even be on
this.
this list. I think he is one of those quarterbacks that got drafted and got put in the perfect position, much like Aaron Rodgers, got put in the perfect position with the perfect system and the perfect coach sitting behind the perfect guy for the
No.
perfect amount of time.
I agree, but you can't deny the talent.
Oh no, I'm not saying he's not a good quarterback. He's
Yeah.
a phenomenal
He
quarterback, but
doesn't
I
look
don't
at
think
people
he's the
when he
Michael
throws them the
Jordan.
ball.
I don't think he's the Michael Jordan of the NFL.
I think it's hard to argue that he's not. He has commercials where he's squirting ketchup on steak.
I mean, yeah,
That's
he has
just stupid.
ridiculous.
MVP, Super Bowl ring. He's only, what, 24, 25?
No,
Yeah.
he's 23.
$500 million deal. But, all right,
Yeah, but
so
I'm saying Michael Jordan didn't get put into a system with a coach and a stable franchise like Patrick Mahomes did. Michael
he
Jordan
had, what was that coach that he had? That old guy who was into the Native American stuff? Michael Jordan.
Phil Jackson.
He had Phil Jackson and fucking Dennis Rodman and Scottie Pippen
That was later on, though. Bulls
Yeah.
saying, like, Patrick Mahomes.
right away.
Yeah.
Well, the
Yeah, 'cause
NFL is
Patrick
different.
Mahomes
You
only-
just get the NFL is more of a team game where you build around a team. Like the NBA, you just fucking get a superstar, throw him with anybody, and they're gonna make the playoff. Like LeBron
There's-
James could go to. He went to Cleveland, who had the worst roster,
Yeah.
and won the championship.
There's just an undeniable aura around Patrick Mahomes, and
That's-
nobody has
yeah.
had that in the NFL since, like, Tom Brady. And
And he
it's
puts
I would
kids
say
to
since
work.
Michael Vick when he came out of college. He was dominant until he got caught fighting dogs.
He didn't have that accuracy though. I've never seen the accuracy in the throws.
yeah, whatever. Continue your list.
But all right, so Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen. Then I have Russell Wilson, which I just feel like offensive wise, like his ability to just fucking make that moon rocket ball and do all those like just his little magical scrambles. Like Russell Wilson, no one ever wants to play against him. Then I have Kyler Murray because he's basically just a younger, faster version of Russell Wilson. I can like when I watch him play on Sunday, he's just making moves with his feet. He's got like such quickness and he's kind of got like a Patrick Mahomes, like the baseball type throw, like just a nice zip to his ball.
he's like a Lamar that can throw.
Yeah.
So, Austin, another question for you about that.
Yeah.
When both Russell Wilson and Kyler Murray are out of the league, who do you think is going to end up having a better career
By the end of it all.
by the end of both their careers? Who do you think will have a better career?
Saying
How many
stat
Super
wise
Bowls
or, like,
does-
Super Bowls?
Yeah, Russell has one.
Russell has one Super Bowl and
Yeah.
it's
I don't think Kyler Murray will ever get a Super Bowl.
Wow. That's ridiculous.
And that's no knock on Kyler. I just think his style of play is going to fizzle out before Russell's will.
Oh man, yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a really tough one.
I think
But-
Russell Wilson will have the better NFL career.
Mm.
I don't know, because then again, you look at it like Kyler Murray got drafted by Cliff Kingsbury, who was his college coach. So they're like, and he's super young. So if they stick together for long enough, and he's obviously just an offensive guy who he traded for DeAndre Hopkins, like he's making moves for Kyler Murray. He's going to build that whole team around Kyler Murray. So maybe stats wise, at the end of their career, Kyler Murray would probably be better. The NFL will probably just get more and more offensive.
He'll definitely have more rushing yards, that's for sure.
Yeah. But, Bull, you're going to like my number 6 right after Kyler Murray.
Go ahead.
Big Ben Roethlisberger.
Hey. There it is.
Because now that he's found Jesus and he stopped all that masturbating and drinking and he
Mhm.
started working out in the off season,
Mhm.
I've noticed Big Ben is dropping these absolute buckets. And he's literally sitting there in the fucking pocket just looking like vintage Big Ben, 5 wide. He's hitting all these guys. I mean, most of these people are dropping his like perfect balls, but Big Ben is running the offense like I haven't seen him run in quite some time.
Yeah, so like I said earlier, Big Ben, first of all, the offensive line has blocked better pass-wise, has blocked better than they have in a very long time. And that's saying something because normally they're pretty good at pass blocking. But Big Ben has finally done what I've been arguing with everybody about. So the Steelers' offensive line has always had the knock of, oh, they're not good pass blockers because look how much Big Ben gets sacked. And I've always argued, look how long Big Ben holds onto the ball. He holds onto it till he grows a damn beard. He is finally getting the ball out of his hands within 2 seconds on average. He zims that bad boy. And as you can see, when our receivers and tight end and running backs actually catch the damn ball, we can move the ball down the field no problem. Our biggest – yeah, Big Ben's a beast, dude. I love it.
Yeah.
Big Ben's so nice.
Austin, why don't you just run through the rest?
All right. So Big
Sorry.
Ben, Deshaun Watson. Then I have Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson.
So wait, you think Nick Chubb is the best running back in the NFL?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Nick Chubb is the GOAT. But, I mean, just from I feel like he hasn't had the sample size that Derrick Henry and Dalvin Cook have
That's all I
had.
need to know. Keep going.
The eye test. Lamar Jackson, Dalvin Cook, Tyreek Hill, Alvin Kamara, DeAndre Hopkins, and Travis Kelce.
Wow. No Devontae Adams, huh?
No Devontae Adams. I don't believe in Devontae Adams.
Alvin Kamara, who, and Travis Kelce?
Alvin Kamara, DeAndre Hopkins, Travis Kelce. I
I'm
think
kind of surprised at how low Travis Kelce is on your list.
I think the boy Devontae is a cheap DeAndre Hopkins. Like they don't have top end speed, they have good hands, but I'm going to take DeAndre Hopkins' hands over Devontae Adams' hands.
I would too, but I like Devontae Adams a lot.
I like him too. Top 15.
Well, I think your list is definitely better than David Carr's list.
100%.
I would like to see Dan Orlovsky's list because he's an idiot.
You think Dan Orlovsky's an idiot?
Yeah, he sucks. What's jumping out at you next week, fellas? Besides Steelers-Bills, because we all know that one's going to be the game of games.
A great game. I can't wait to see the Ravens-Browns, but that's partially because I'm a Steelers fan, and no matter who wins, I'm going to laugh at whoever loses, so that's nice.
It's in Cleveland. I hope it's snowing and it's just Nick Chubb and all the Ravens running backs, Dobbins and Gus the Bus just pounding the rock.
Yeah, that's going to be a really good game, I think.
So, on a side note, I do think there's only going to be one game that's going to go into overtime, and I think it's going to be because Jalen Hurts throws for 5 touchdowns, and I think the Eagles are going to win against the Saints, the number 1 team in the NFC. And this is going to start the Jalen Hurts MVP run in a couple years.
Oh, my God.
All right.
Man.
Well, we'll timestamp that so
Please
we
do.
can talk about it next week. but
Please do.
I don't think that is going to happen.
Ooh, I got
We'll see.
one.
It's gonna
I
be
got a
fun to
game.
watch the Chiefs on a bright, what would that be? Like 1 p.m. in Miami, day game. I feel like that.
That's a game I was gonna say too, because
The Hard Rock, some Tua action.
as a Bills fan, I want the Dolphins to take that L to the Chiefs so we can separate from the divisional lead, especially if we can get the win over the Steelers.
Yeah.
You think the Giants upset the Cardinals?
The Giants and the Cardinals.
Also good. I'll say yeah.
I mean, you heard that stat I dropped earlier. They lost 4 of their last 5, and the one that they won was on the Hail Mary.
Yeah.
And as Bull was saying, Colt McCoy's on fire.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be an upset, though. I think these two teams at the moment are almost dead even. 100%.
The 4-8 Broncos versus the 4-8 Panthers.
Couple 4-8ers.
The Poop Bowl. But
Who are the
now,
Jets playing?
now we're just talking about every game. So, Bull,
Yes.
if you could give me your prediction for Thursday night's game in our weekly segment, the Thursday Night Pick'em. I mean, all these are weekly segments.
I know you got to get Kaiba and do the Kaiba's pick of the week.
What is
What?
that?
That's where I put like a treat on the ground next to a Brown thing or a Patriots thing or a Rams thing, and he picks one. It's probably not going to happen.
Oh, Hunter, come on! This is what will get us
We
big.
talked about it. Yeah, I don't know if you were around when we discussed that, Jake. I might send you a video later, but it's definitely not going to happen right now. Bull, Patriots, Rams, Thursday Night Football. Give me your pick 'em.
Rams 27-14.
Wow. Jake?
I'm gonna have to say Patriots
Yeah.
28-24.
Okay. Austin?
I'm gonna go Patriots 17-7.
I'm going Patriots 24. Rams 21. It's going to be a close one.
Bada boom. There you have it.
So,
Oh, do you guys want me to
You're the
write my
outlier.
name as well?
That'll be fun. But, Jake, I think you know what time it is.
It is time for my fun game of the week. And this is, in fact, a fun one, but from talks of early in the episode, I feel like a lot of us are going to have some repeats. So,
I was saying ones that I didn't think people would pick.
the game is top 3 one-year wonders, players that were good or exceptionally good in one season and then didn't really have a season equally as good after that or outright just died off. So it will go. I thought Bull's going to be first, but okay.
Bull will be
Austin.
first.
Do you want me to be first?
Yeah, make Bull first.
Yeah, you're supposed to be first.
Okay, yeah, so my number 3 for one-hit wonders is a Steeler. It is the only Steeler on my list, and it is a quarterback, Tommy Chipped Ham Maddox is my number 3, because without Tommy Maddox performing his one good season and then his subsequent terrible season after that would not have led to a Big Ben Hall of Fame career in Pittsburgh.
Wow. Well, you really love you some Tommy Maddox, I'll tell you what.
Oh, he holds a special place in my heart. We needed to sacrifice somebody, and it wasn't going to be Cordell Stewart. It had to be Tommy Maddox.
I respect it. So are we going to me or to Hunter?
We'll go to Austin. Just start at the back at the top.
All right. So coming in at my number 3 is a former Cleveland Brown, Gary Barnidge. He was a tight end who he had kind of like a mediocre career for a couple seasons. Then he went to the Browns and he had 79 catches, 1,043 yards, and 9 touchdowns. And I think that year he was pretty much like the best tight end in football. But then the next year he had a sports hernia surgery, and the Browns dropped him, and he never played football again.
Wow, that's a stinker. My turn.
No, it's mine. And then you.
Sorry.
So my number 3 is the 2017 season, Case Keenum. He threw for 22 touchdowns, a little over 3,500 yards. The miracle happens late in the playoffs, lose in the NFC Championship, and then nothing really ever comes of it.
Okay.
It's pretty much non-existent after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the scene of – it's not really a scene, but the time of the whole crowd just fucking going. It's just like, damn, that's pretty electric. And then you just don't really hear of anything after that season.
All right. My number 3, I debated not even putting him on the list because all of the reasons why he had such good stats was because all of them came in garbage time. My number 3 is 2015 Blake Bortles. He tied the league in passing with 35 touchdowns. I believe Tom Brady was tied with him. He had 4,428 passing yards thanks to Allen Robinson and Allen Hurns. And I believe, I'm going to make sure real quick, he was featured in the NFL's top 100 at number 56 that year, which is
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah. I wonder what the other players were saying about him.
Yeah.
Because you know how they cut into someone that he played against? They're
Yeah,
probably
I
like,
don't-
Blake Bortles, man, he's a big, hard runner.
Yeah, Jake, all
Plays with a chip on his
He's a
shoulder.
big hard
Plays
man.
with a chip on his
Perfect. He's just really about that action.
See?
Jake, I'm going to put that YouTube link in there, and you can use players saying nice things about Blake Bortles for that video clip.
Okay. Oh.
So I should have asked you guys before, but my number 2 was originally going to be Nnamdi Asomugha, but instead of only having one, he wasn't a one and done. He was a 3. He had 3 years in a row that were really good, and the rest were just trash. So are we counting that or no?
Well,
No.
3 does not equal 1, so
Okay.
unfortunately.
Well, that's too bad then. Let me go back to my other one.
I was going to say Big Ben was a 1-year one, but it was actually 10 years. Is that the same?
It's just he's an every year
Thanks
wonder.
for that quick
Oh,
math,
Where's
Jake.
my? Let me get a pause real quick. Let me grab my notes.
Let Bull get his notebook.
You know my journal.
So
All right,
I have
Bull,
my
we're
number
waiting
2.
on you.
My number 2 is a running back for the at the time St. Louis, now LA Rams. He played in 2013, and his name is Zach Stacy.
Zach Stacy.
Zach Stacy.
Bull, like,
What's it-
unless he went to a Pro Bowl, this is a dumb pick.
What? How is this a dumb pick? His
How many
rookie
yards
year,
did he have?
he almost got 1,000 yards, and then he did nothing the rest of his time. I think he ended up with 980 yards.
I don't think almost getting 1,000 yards is a good season.
For a running back?
I think getting over 1,000 yards
Oh
is a
my
good
God.
season.
Yeah.
All right. Hold
Horrible
on.
pick, Bull. Shame on you.
That's okay.
Yeah, I'm just a
Yeah.
piece of shit. What can I
Hey.
say? I'm just a bad football analyst, I guess.
Well, you know, Tommy
973
Maddox
yards
was a
is not
good
a good
pick.
season for you?
No.
I mean, for me, yeah.
I could have done that behind St. Louis's line, Bull.
That's unbelievable.
Bull,
You guys,
You're just awesome in the backfield.
Bull, you should be a combination of
Mhm.
a analyst and a therapist, and you can be
Okay.
Bro Football Focus's first anal rapist.
oh. Oh.
We'd love that, Bull.
Or I'm sorry,
So,
anal rapist.
If you guys hate that pick, You are going to probably never let me back on when you hear my number one.
Oh, geez.
No, we'll let you back on. We'll let you back on. It's just I don't think you understood the game. But Austin, you're next.
So coming in at my number 2, he was a New York Giant. He was all the craze for one season, and he was salsa dancing left and right.
Oh, this is a good one.
Victor Cruz. He had 82 catches, 1,536 yards, and 9 touchdowns. But after that, he didn't really do much. His next season was like 1,000 yards, I think. And then after that, he never had a 1,000-yard season again. And he just kind of fell off the map after looking so dominant.
Fell right onto the stage and Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, he found his true calling.
Jake.
My
Yeah.
number 2
Number 2.
is thank you, number 2. My number 2 is the 2011 season, Tim Tebow.
Nice.
Thrown in week 6. Goes 126 for 271, which wasn't great, but little over 1,700 yards, 18 touchdowns, 660 yards rushing. Broncos switched to an option style offense, and then they won the next 6 of their next 9 games. They beat the Steelers in overtime, but then they lose to the Patriots 45-10. And shortly after that, Broncos pick up Peyton. Tim Tebow goes to the Jets, then goes to baseball.
He was on the Patriots for like a day.
Yeah, he played tight end / fullback.
No, I like the pick. I like the pick a lot more than Zach Stacy.
Oh, you're going to hate
yeah.
the next pick. You're going to love Zach Stacy compared to the next pick.
That's all right. My number 2 is still a bit of a young guy, so he definitely has the ability to kind of get this title away from him. But my number 2 one-season wonder is Vic Beasley Jr. of the Atlanta Falcons. His second year in the league in 2016, he made the Pro Bowl. He had 6 forced fumbles, 1 touchdown from that, and he had 15 sacks. Ever since, he's never had more than 8 sacks or 2 forced fumbles. So 1 good season in 2016 showed a lot of promise. Nothing ever again.
Who's he playing for right now?
I have no idea, to tell you the truth. He's not on the
I don't know
Falcons.
if he is. Because I remember, I don't know where he's at anymore. Maybe the Rams.
I don't know. Yeah, he's on the Rams.
Probably not doing much. All
No,
right, Bull.
probably not.
Let
All
us down.
So let me close my notes up real quick and talk to you guys from the heart. My number 1, mind you, this is kind of like Hunter, and it could end up differently, albeit I don't think it will. I think he will be a one-hit wonder.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Last year's NFL MVP, Lamar Jackson, is a one-hit wonder. And his piss-poor decision-making has cost the Baltimore Ravens multiple games this year and will continue to do that as long as they have him at starting quarterback. He is a man with running back legs, the eyes of an owl at midday, and the arm of a quadriplegic. He cannot throw the ball.
Let's quiet it down a little bit.
We're going to have to
cannot throw
quote
the
that and put that
The
on.
only thing he can do is run. That is it. There is nothing else. He is a terrible quarterback.
I don't know. He throws some touchdowns.
He threw an absolute dime piece to Marquise Brown against the Cowboys.
A blind squirrel stumbles across a nut every once in a while.
No, but I completely agree. I think he's just a running back,
Yeah, he's terrible.
but a damn talented one.
Oh, yeah, good running back. Terrible quarterback.
What if he switches to running back and then has Hall of Fame seasons?
Is
Then
just
I'll be
Barry
wrong.
Sandersing?
Yeah, just goes off.
No,
Then I'll be wrong.
take that back. He's a quarterback. I feel like last year they had that 3 tight end set that worked so well. And they had Hayden Hurst, who they lost. Their only real wide receiver is Hollywood Brown, and he weighs 170 pounds.
Yeah.
And also, Greg Roman, their offensive coordinator, I think is dog doo-doo. Because he was, when they had Kaepernick on the 49ers, he was their coordinator, and he was also the coordinator for the Bills when we had Tyrod Taylor, and I remember I absolutely hated him. Hated his play calling.
So the only reason why I'm remotely okay with the take is because of how hot it is, and I hope it garners some traffic on the internet. I think the title of this episode should be Bro Football Focus Episode 30, Lamar Jackson One Hit Wonder, or something.
I definitely want to clip a video and just have it say whatever Bold said: the legs of a running back, the eyes of a
The arms of a
owl.
quadriplegic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That might get you canceled, but hey.
the eyes of an owl.
Go ahead.
Midday.
Yeah, that one was funny.
But
Thank
owls
you.
have good
Eyes of an
eyes at
owl.
all times of the day.
I don't know.
I don't think so, dude.
I think they do. Just because they're nocturnal and have like night vision doesn't mean they can't see during the day.
So you're saying they could just turn it on and off?
No, I'm telling you, owls can see in the day just fine.
I
I
don't
feel like
know
that's
if
a
you're an
lot of
owl
propaganda.
expert, Hunter.
Yeah.
I think you're just patronizing Bull.
I think
Have you ever
Bull
asked
thinks
an owl?
owl's eyes work like Riddick's eyes in the Chronicles of Riddick, where he has to wear like sunglasses or else they'll burn his eyes.
might
But
be
also,
how-
we know that Bull is a special guy. So,
Come here, kid.
Austin, who's your number one?
So my numero uno is also a Cleveland Brown, and he is
Peyton
Peyton
Hillis?
Hillis. Because Peyton Hillis, when he was on the Browns, they actually seemed like they might be able to contend in the AFC North there as a tough runner. He was like the original Derrick Henry type that just wore down defense. He had 1,177 yards and 11 touchdowns. And I remember the Browns beat the Patriots that year because Peyton Hillis was just unstoppable, I'm pretty sure.
Madden curse.
He got
Was
the Madden cover, had like a contract dispute shortly after that with the Browns because he thought he should be paid more because he was getting paid. He was like a fullback for the Broncos, got traded to the Browns. They ran him as a running back. He wanted running back money. And then he just kind of never got that contract, and he never topped 600 yards ever again.
Didn't he get like strep throat one time and then never played football again or something?
He definitely had something like that, but I think the main thing was that contract dispute, why he didn't play again. And then he just never, like, he was given more chances, I'm pretty sure, and he just never ran for 600 yards, more than 600 yards ever again.
Also,
Is-
fellas, make sure you pop the years in there.
Is Peyton Hillis the first person to ever get hit by the Madden curse?
No.
So who was the first?
John
Vince
Madden.
Young?
Yeah,
John
John
Madden.
Madden. He was on the
That's-
cover for like 5 years. A lot of bad juju.
John Madden's still alive.
Yeah, I think.
You know, John Madden used to not trust airplanes, so he would ride a bus everywhere.
I think he still does that.
I don't think he
But,
goes anywhere now.
I don't know. Yeah, could you imagine that? Like, you're playing in Oakland. The team has a game in Cleveland. John Madden probably has to leave on like Tuesday. He gets to train with the team for one day, and then
They
he
got a
travels
bus
across the
card.
country. But either
Is
way,
that true?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
What's your numero uno, Jake?
My number one, he's been brought up in games before, but I am putting RG3.
Archie
2012.
Trace.
He threw for 3,200 yards, 20 touchdowns with only 5 interceptions, rushed for 815. The next season was similar in passing yards, but with 12 interceptions. Season after that, injury, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor RG3, he has been a staple in a lot of these what could have been style lists.
Yeah. Shame.
I'm surprised nobody picked Keanu Neal.
Keanu
He's
He hasn't really done
playing
much
right
since
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he hasn't really done much since his rookie year.
I mean, I think he's still a good safety, though.
On one of the worst defensive secondaries in the league.
It's kind of hard to measure a safety success on like on a bad defense. But I saw him lay someone out the other day. I'm like, oh, Keanu's back.
Keanu? Sick.
Yeah,
I miss Taylor Mays.
I miss him too.
He was an icon.
If
Crabtree-
we ever do like a top 5 Madden player list, he'd be on mine.
Nice. There he is.
I'm
All right.
having a contractual dispute with one of my employees.
So my number 1 is all the way back in the year 2012. And this person is a special teams or was a special teams ace.
That's
and
funny.
honestly, he is the reason why I thought of this list. And when I think of players that were only good one time, like you only heard their name on the broadcast for 1 year and then never again, it's Trindon Holiday of the Denver Broncos, 2012. Yeah, see, you're searching the memory banks, Austin. But in 2012, Trindon Holiday had 481 yards in punt returns, 105 in kick returns, 552 in kick returns, which I don't think is anything crazy, but it's still a lot. He had a punt return touchdown in the regular season, a kick return touchdown in the regular season. But where it really gets interesting is in the playoffs in 2012, when in the one game he played in the playoffs, he had 90 yards punt returning, 158 yards kick returning, and he had a touchdown doing both. And I think he's probably got to be the first player to have like a kick return and a punt return in the same game, or a playoff game at least.
What a
But
baller.
yeah.
Did they win that game?
I don't think they won that playoff game.
He couldn't get it done.
Yeah, 2012. Well, it was 2013. It was January 12th against the Ravens, 35-38.
No love for Jacoby Jones.
Nope.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but Matt Prater kicked Trindon 2 tutters. So yeah,
Jacoby
that's the
Jones.
list.
Oh, that give you a blast from the past, Dawson.
Yeah, I just remember Mike Tomlin tripping him on the sideline when he was about to run one back.
That's what ruined his career. He didn't do anything after that. Because
Yeah.
he knew.
Oh, we could do the pick. We could do Kaiba's pick right now.
Oh, yeah.
No,
She's going to
We don't-
siphon through my beard and
we
pick
don't have
out one of the
anything set up
emblems.
for that. We don't have any Browns or
Oh.
Rams or whatever merch.
How
I mean,
about,
you just gotta be like, oh, this one's the Browns and this one's the Patriots. And
or say like, like put your face in Bull's beard for Browns, or like
yeah,
sit down for the Rams,
or meow for
Yeah. Meow once.
the
meow
Chargers.
twice.
Okay.
I'm just not entertaining the idea. This is what
I'm
will
trying
make us
to-
big, Hunter.
I'm actually trying to think of something that Bull could do. Bull, I want you to stick 2 fingers out next to his face and see which one he touches. But you have to you have to distinguish. One is the Browns and
So,
one is
this
the
one-
Patriots, one is the Rams.
This one will be the Patriots. This one's the Rams.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. He's on the move. Here you go, buddy. Which one are you
Oh,
going to
we
pick?
can't see, Bull.
You have to take your.
Oh, he's making a move.
We can't see it.
There you go. You're good. Keep them up in the air like that.
Maybe snap them a couple times. Oh,
Which
Oh,
one? Bull, which
Patriots.
one is that?
Patriots.
Patriots.
Patriots win. Okay, Kybe's pick of the week. Patriots by 50.
Wow.
Okay. Well, Bull, thanks for coming on. You are everybody's favorite guest. You can find us on YouTube where you found us, on Instagram at Bro Football Focus. Bro Football Focus with 1 L on the Twitter. Thanks
So,
for coming on. What, Bull? I'm doing the outro.
I'm sorry, but are we not talking about this final part?
What fun? The merch ideas? That's just a constant,
Oh,
thing. Yeah.
Well,
it's
anything
been a little bit
strike
since I've
your
been
eye?
allowed in the loop.
Which one of those would you buy, Bull?
Which one of these would I buy?
Would you
Oh,
buy
okay.
an Enhance the Vibe shirt?
Mm.
Because
Did you
you
see
really
the last
enhanced
one?
Wait, what is the last one?
the vibe.
The last one, those shirts that you can put on, it makes you look like you're ripped.
Yeah.
It would be the opposite of that. It's like your body on a shirt.
I have one of those shirts at home.
Is it just your birthday shirt?
The one that
No,
makes you
like-
look ripped?
Oh, wait. I think you're talking about a different shirt. I meant like the shirts where you cut the sides till there's just a little bit of cloth holding it at the very
No.
bottom.
No, Bull, I'm talking about I put on a shirt and it's graphically got your body pictured
Listen.
on it.
We'll explain it to you at a different time, but
All right.
I already told you fellas where to go. We'll see you next time on the Wham Bam Thank You Cam Chancellor episode. It's been a good one.